Welcome to God with George Ortega. This is episode number 135. I'm recording it on Thursday, April 29th, 2021 at 9:19 p.m. Eastern Time. And how you doing, God? All right, apparently you have me on vacation. You basically yeah, you want me to, I guess, rest. I did a lot of sleeping today. You got my hours reversed. I was up till about perhaps 4 or 5 o'clock last night. So I trust you know what you're doing. But thank you for having me get out today, at least a little while. It seemed to be threatening rain, but fortunately it didn't. So, God, I think the first thing I want to talk with you about is what accounts for the strong presence, your strong presence that I feel sometimes. This kind of like being in, well, everything's all right, I'm feeling close to you, I'm feeling good about the world, and other times when I'm feeling a bit, distanced. I think, this is probably a universal phenomenon. But it'd be interesting to kind of like understand it a few layers deep. What is it like? There are these forces, they're like the forces, the angels, if you want to call them, beings that are manifesting your presence, and bringing people together, and then there are other forces that are pulling us apart, perhaps. I mean, that seems the way it is, but then the question would become, well, why is it like that? Why did you create a world? And I don't know. So, all right. So let's see. So yeah, I you got me on vacation, taking a little vacation at least. Did I do anything today? I slept a lot. I did a lot of listening to audiobooks. Yes, I did stuff. But thank you. Those wall coat hangers that I ordered came, and it'd be nice if you got me to put them up tomorrow. But if you want me to like just not do all that much stuff or sleep through tomorrow, whatever, and actually that's kind of like a lot of my my work in this world, to accept that these things aren't up to me, and that to just like to go with the flows, to just like to not even not perhaps, well, in certain cases want things to be any different than they are, to kind of like trust that they're the way they are for good reason. And so yeah, that's how we want to look at this. Okay. So I haven't played any bass guitar today, I think. Oh, well, yes, I want you to, so you gave me 2 great ideas. One is to like, I'm going to give this group, what will the next 4 years look like, this meetup, a week, perhaps more, if everybody's like so pessimistic and worried, I mean, the pessimism, that's like, that's contagious, or it's, at least it's like, I feel, it's unfortunate that people don't feel all that optimistic or confident. I may be mistaken, but I just feel that we're moving into a wonderful new era, And I'm not going to allow people to rain on that, you know. So thank you for, like, you know. So I'm probably going to end that group because I don't see any value to it. Things will play out the way they play out, and but thank you also for giving me the idea to create I may have mentioned this yesterday, an event with my happiness club. I've got like close to 2,000 members in that. Because, like, if I were to, you know, this new group that I'm creating, I mean, it's from scratch. It might have 50, 100 for a while, and they're very few. It takes a long time to build those numbers. So, you know, that'll be kind of like happiness through cannabis, you know, something like that. And because that's, you know, this is what you have me doing now. You have me, you know, listening to podcasts and reading books on cannabis. Just and actually, that's what you had me do last night, and I appreciate it because I had done research in the past years ago, and you know, I have these books in my Kindle. And so I'm going to review them, you know, and you know, I'm very particular. So many books, you know, the authors come up with great titles, but then looking through the table of contents, I just kind of like noticed that no, they're not really all about what they say they're about in a way, or just like, you know, I mean, like people who write books on cannabis, you know, they feel the need to go through the legal, you know, history, which is like a little depressing and angering, you know, and I don't need to, you know, fine, I know that, yes, it was racist, it was like, you know, it was evil, you know, it seemed evil. And but I don't need to go through that every time I read a book on cannabis, nor, you know, and I guess like this is just, you know, more understandable as they go through, like, well, this is the biology of it and the cannabinoid system. And incidentally, God, I just want to mention again, yes, this is like, I guess, the third day that I'm taking my cannabis tolerance break. And I'm missing it a little more today than I did yesterday. And that's got to be the weather. It's been either raining or threatening rain all day. And again, you had me sleep through it for whatever reason. Yeah, and God, you know, something else I want to talk with you about is, like, sometimes you have me feel really good about and close to people, you know, and other times not so much. And this is like where I'm, you know, it's like when I'm not feeling like, you know, all that close to people, I you know, the thoughts that you put in my mind, that go through my mind as well, you know, people aren't all that good anyhow, you know, the way they eat meat and dairy and fish and eggs, and, you know, really not caring about what happens to those animals, you know, and they're not all that bright in terms of, like, they haven't figured out this whole free will thing, that everything's your will and nothing's up to them. And I mean, you know, I mean, I value and appreciate people a lot in a lot of ways. I'm like musicians. I mean, people do so much good in so many ways. So it's not like a black and white kind of a thing. But today, yeah, you had me have that feeling, and which is interesting because, like, you know, when I'm on the cannabis, yeah, I get people are evil. I get they're not that bright, you know, relatively, I guess. But it, you know, it's not something that comes to mind. I'm just like too busy enjoying them and the world and you and my life and all. So so yes, what I really would like from you, God, soon is, like, I really want to make it to this cannabis parade. That means I've got a let's see, on Saturday night I've got a meetup, I guess, from 8 to 9, and I'll go straight to sleep after that, hopefully, because I got to get into Manhattan by I guess take a 9 o'clock on Sunday. And because there's 11 o'clock, you know, the parade starts at 11. And so I really want to, you know, I'd like to get there around 10:30. So, you've got that going well. So like, it's something I'd really like to do. And, if you feel that it's not the right thing for me to do, then, as usual, I understand. Thank you for this idea that I did, so I want to wear this, my Beatles, Let It Be t-shirt. But I had worn it, so like it needed to be washed, and I don't have a full load of wash to do right now. So like what I did was so great. First I was going to just like, use some, I don't have any Woolite or anything or any, well, I guess I do have laundry detergents. Yeah, I've got a liquid. But anyway, what I use is I put the shirt on and, hopped into the shower earlier today and first scrubbed, the shirt and got it all clean and took it off, wrung it, put it on a hanger, and then finished the shower. And so like, so it's probably still pretty, it probably won't be dry until tomorrow because it's been so humid recently. But thanks for that idea. I mean, like, whether it's just like in the sink, or in the shower, whatever. It's and thank you, God, for I ordered a couple more shirts, an Abbey Road shirt and a Sergeant Pepper shirt, because I really want to wear these shirts almost every day. I want them to kind of like to express, I guess, who I am in a certain sense. So, but even like, so in times like this, though, God, like, I didn't listen to Beatle music. I decided to listen to my top love songs. And that was good. But like, yes, it's like sometimes, life is less full of life than others. And that's why the cannabis is so world changing. And then some people, it's Willie Nelson's birthday, I believe, today. And I think the guy, I don't know, he's got to be like 150 now. I don't know how old he is, but he smokes every day, and so like that gives me a lot of hope and encouragement that like, that you really, and all right, so God, I'm going to do a lot more research on these tolerance breaks. And instead of going through books, maybe look for TED Talks on them, because, I've read and heard different things. I mean, so yes, I'm not going to do any cannabis until Sunday. I'll do some for the parade. And then I may, go back to maybe another couple of weeks of not, continuing that tolerance break process. But I'd like to know a bit more about it. Okay. And with the Judaism, yeah, like the Judaism, it's the same thing. It's like, sometimes it's not just closeness to you or other people. It's like closeness to this, this idea of Judaism that I love when I feel very close to it, when I'm, and what would let me know that I'm in a period of distance from it. Hopefully it won't last too long, is that, I've been listening to Rabbi Noah Weinberg's 48 Ways of Wisdom recently. I think I stopped, I went down from, well, actually there's 50 ways, but he calls them 48. So I went down from the last to, I think, around number 20. And I haven't listened to any more episodes or talks for, it's got to be 3 weeks now, I imagine. So actually, I like when I'm in this mode of like, oh yeah, let me acquire some wisdom, or let me better integrate the wisdom that I know, solidify it more. So that'd be nice if you did that. Thanks for having me feel very confident about Biden's speech last night. I had the choice of listening to it live or attending a Torah talk, and I just felt that listening to it live was the right thing to do. I don't want to miss that Torah class too much, because I've missed it a lot in the past, and I just want it to be my Wednesday night activity. So, okay, what else? So, all right, so then the question is, again, it's 9:34 now. What am I going to do for the rest of, I would like to meditate. Well, no, I think I would like to listen to some audiobooks from my Kindle on cannabis, learn more about it, and then meditate. But if you're going to have me stay up half the night, then I would appreciate it if you would have me meditate during that time. I don't feel like searching for stuff. Yeah, just and I guess for whatever reason you're having me feel that I need some rest now. I guess all right, God, I haven't cooked in a while. You have me make these big batches of beans, from dry beans. I have to soak them overnight, and then make a lot of servings that I freeze. So I got to do that, and I got to do the same thing with millet and oatmeal, and I've got barley that I can do the same thing with. So yeah, I haven't done cooking like that in weeks, which is that's the way it is, because then I have weeks of food that's just ready to prepare. So but I need to do that soon. Yeah, let's talk about what I need to do. And I didn't create that list, so see if you can remind me, God, that I need to create a list of things, these little things that need to be done, like hanging up those wall coat hanger type things, which I'm gonna hang my shorts and my pants on, actually, my jeans. Oh, it's getting to the time I don't really wear jeans during the summer that much, or at least the heavy ones, the winter jeans. So I guess that would be mainly shorts. So yeah, relative to this mood, here's what I'm thinking. Okay, I was very, we were talking about I suggested this is about angels, this is about spiritual beings that are at war, in some other kind of realm, that's adjacent to or underneath this realm of human beings. But another kind of speculative possibility is that, well, with people, Biden laid out a very ambitious agenda, and he's, a lot of the Republicans are in trouble because, if they oppose it, these are very popular measures, creating jobs for people, and giving, tax credits to parents with young kids, making people's lives easier. And so it could be that a lot of Republicans are feeling a lot of fear, a lot of dread, a lot of anger, because maybe they see that, that now isn't anything like before the pandemic, before Trump. And they just don't have any answers. So it could be that they're poisoning the atmosphere, the emotional atmosphere, that if groups of people, if enough people are disappointed like this, that may just be contagious. I mean, and it'd be wonderful, God, if our world gets to the point where it's funny. I was just I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about I'm reading this one book that's a great book by Sebastian Marcolio, I think it's called. High. It's about it describes the effects of cannabis much better than any other book that I've. And then he starts the book, I think, in an unfortunate way, because he starts with what's known as the forgettings, or the forget. Because sometimes if you consume too much cannabis, you walk into the kitchen and you go, now why did I walk in here? And the way he frames it is good, because basically, yes, what cannabis can do is it can keep you in the present. It can, basically heighten your awareness of the present and focus on the present, which I think it does, but that's at the expense of of as well sometimes remembering short-term memory things, not the long-term. Long-term isn't affected, but now, so are you going to have me remember what I had planned to say? I don't know. Well, what I want to say though is like, I didn't know what I'd be talking about right now, but I'm feeling good about it. All right, what else? So, all right, just what happened now? Like my train of thought was flowing along smoothly, kind of like seamlessly for a while. Then I start talking about something, and I noticed that the thought stream is not as accessible. I kind of like, I'm waiting for the next thought, and I'm noticing that it's not coming as readily or as easily as it was in the past. And so that's, this is really what religion should strive to understand better. Psychology less so, perhaps. I don't know. I mean, it is the domain of both, but these parts of these aspects of life that we may not, we may be very far from really understanding them, but it's good to ask the questions. Okay. So what else? All right, got 6.5 minutes left. Yeah, I definitely just want to learn more about cannabis. So I'm trying to catch that thought again that all right, whatever. So no, the next thing is like, yes, I started, I think I'm halfway through highlighting my Climate Rescue Capitalism book, which will serve as the my notes for the new series that I'll be creating, that I'll be hopefully starting to tape maybe in a week or two. And I want to get that done because after that, then I want to start my cannabis series, which I'll continue this one because this is a nice kind of like a unique, you have to wonder how many people or if anyone else is doing this, just like, series. I mean, like, fine, but this series started with my describing to the audience, or talking about you, what your attributes are, trying to promote a greater understanding and better understanding, more accurate understanding of who you are, what your attributes are. But now it's segued into this like this. I'm just talking with you, and then this episode I haven't spoken with the audience at all, which is interesting. That thought came to me. So like, what's interesting now is so yeah, 3 days not doing the cannabis, and my consciousness feels different. And again, it's not, it's like there are some very positive aspects of this state of mind too. I completely prefer the cannabis state of mind. But coming off of that, I talked about it yesterday, that it is kind of demanding. It's kind of like, using high octane gasoline instead of regular. It kind of like, motivates me to expend more energy in my thinking and feeling and all this stuff and being. Whereas like, now it's, I guess my thoughts are more familiar. So that's nice too. All right. So yes, I really would like you to have me though make that list of things to do. So I mean, the one thing I noticed, God, is like, I really, there is no urgency in my life about anything right now. And that's a good feeling, I mean, I've enjoyed in the past where you've had me like stay up night after night after night working on something, maybe writing a book or whatever. but at this point in my life, that's not what you want me doing, and that's fine, you know. To kind of shift into a more beingness, which may actually be more elevated, more evolved and enlightened than this more mundane kind of lifestyle where I'm just like getting a lot of things done. And actually, all right, so now I just want to like, got about under 3 minutes. One last thing I want to kind of like explore is what you had me think earlier today, which was such a cool thought. It's like, you know, most fundamentally, our reality as human beings is like, we get one thought, you know, or a feeling, or a thought and a feeling. And then we get another one. And yeah, I mean, this is regardless of whether we're doing anything or not, or what we're doing or not. It's just these thoughts come to our minds. And that is our reality, this consciousness. And I've read a lot of psychology over the years. I'm not sure I've ever read anyone who's really addressed this reality, this aspect of our experience in terms of like, you know, and I'm not really sure how it will be addressed, but it's just so cool that that is what our experience is. That's like living is simply thoughts and feelings coming into our mind and our experiencing them. And some of them are pleasant and some of them are less pleasant. And that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, yes, there's seemingly infinite variation in the kinds of thoughts and the kinds of feelings, just all that. But it's just so cool to kind of like reflect on that. And I guess, you know, I'm thinking that may be an effect of the cannabis, just like awakening this more elemental recognition of my experience, which is cool. All right, so thanks. You know, this is late at night, and I needed to get out, you know, earlier, and so I walked around town. I got something to eat, you know, a couple of bagels and half a can of chickpeas at a ShopRite that I got. So that was my dinner. And then, you know, it was nice walking through town. Then I walked through Target. I need a little very small rug, you know, to put under one of the guitars that I had. So I looked, I didn't find any at Target, but that's right. All right, well, all right, audience, how you doing? So yes, catch us every Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock on White Plains Community Media, channel 76 if you get Optimum, 45 if you get Verizon. And I've been good about uploading the episodes to YouTube and Facebook, so you can catch them there. And I'm done for the week, so I will, you know, I'll do something on Sunday, hopefully after the cannabis parade. Thanks for watching. See you soon.